Today's a very exciting day because we're unboxing the DJI Air 3S, and there's an actual few reasons why I actually picked the Air 3S over like the Mini 4 Pro and the Air 3. I was also going to tempted to get the drone on its own to save a little bit of money, but there are a few reasons why I did get the Fly More combo kit. Hopefully this video will help you decide whether you want the Air 3S, the Air 3. So one of the reasons why I did want to get the Fly More combo kit is because of this bag. It's such a nice and premium bag, and I love bags. I got my Mini 2 over here, which I'm upgrading from, so I was really happy with this bag. So first off, what I really like to see that didn't come with the DJI Air 3 is their own ND filters. I am actually not sure if these are that good, because I actually was gonna get some freewell ones, because if you don't know, the lenses on the actual cameras itself on this drone have different f-stops, but I think, if I can get this open, on here, they are literally just ND8, ND128, and ND32. The top lens, basically, the 70mm is gonna be a lot darker than 24mm lens because it's not split NDs, whereas the freewell ones are split NDs. But I thought I'll trial these because it comes with it and see how we get on. But I'm just glad that I actually got some ND filters for these, and they look really, really nice in this case. And I've actually never had an ND filter for my drone. I've literally just cranked the shutter the whole time. And I was actually looking at the Mavic 3 Classic because of that variable aperture, because I do find putting NDs on constantly can be quite annoying. So on here, we've got the battery charger, which is massive. Looks like they're completely dead. I managed to get this whole set used on Wex Photo Video, and it wasn't even used. It was someone that literally sent back the order. So I worked out if I was gonna get the battery and the filter and this bag as well, I was only gonna pay an extra £170 to get another extra battery, the battery charger, and also the RC2 remote controller, because the RC2 remote controller is something I've wanted for a very long time. And this looks, oh, that looks absolutely amazing. That looks so nice, this controller. I've only ever used the RC N1 or 2, whatever one would come to Mini 2, and I've always hated using my phone to connect up. If my phone's out of charge, sometimes I get loads of different calls and pop-ups and emails, and it can just get so annoying. The cable can bug out sometimes. So I'm just so happy I have got this controller, because this controller looks so nice. It's also got an SD card at the bottom, or maybe that's to actually record the actual screen, which is really cool. I definitely want to do that. This controller on its own is about £300. To pay an extra £170 because it was used and already on a discount, I get an extra battery, the battery charger, and also this £300 controller. I thought if I didn't do that, I would have just completely regretted it, because I knew eventually I would upgrade to this controller, and it is so nice. We'll look at that again in a minute, but let's get to the main piece. And oh my God, I cannot wait to get this out. It is absolutely massive compared to my Mini 2, and it's a lot heavier, but here it is, DJI Air 3S. I've wanted this drone for a very long time, and I finally got it. Oh, I'm so happy. I've done so many like news videos on this because I was so gonna get the Air 3, and then I saw rumors of this happening with its 1-inch sensor, and that is one massive reason why I did go for the Air 3S instead, and it's because of that 1-inch sensor. How the hell do you get this off? How do you get this off? I don't want to break it. How on earth do you get this off? All the batteries are completely dead, so I'm literally gonna whack these on charge. You know what, I'm gonna go charge it in my other room because I've got a really fast power cable. How on earth do you remove this cover? Am I being stupid or what? I don't want to break it. Shit me, that is dodgy. I don't like that. This, if you can see that, the main reason why I wanted to go for the Air 3S and that big 1-inch sensor. Everyone was complaining that the Air 3 took away the 1-inch sensor from the Air 2S. I understood, even though the Air 3 is phenomenal and it looks amazing. I just wanted it. It just looks so nice. And I know if I'm gonna get a drone now, for how expensive this is gonna be my drone for at least 5 to 6 years, because I've managed to get over and away with my Mini 2. Let's actually see the difference in the Mini 2 and the Air 3S. I've managed to get away with this now for 4 years, and I love my Mini 2, and oh my God, look how tiny it is compared to the Air 3S. It is absolutely tiny compared to it. Oh my God, it's literally double in size. And that's the one thing that I was a bit wary on the 3S, was because of the actual traveling with it. I want to go on more trips and travel around with it more. So this is going to be my drone for the next 5-6 years, because I literally don't see where I would need anything more than this. This drone is absolutely ridiculously good. 1-inch sensor, and I think it's an f1.7 aperture, and the 70mm is another massive reason why I actually chose it over the Mini 4 Pro, because the logical choice would probably from the Mini 2 to the Mini 4, unbelievable upgrade. The one thing about the Mini 2 that I wanted to upgrade from originally and why I don't use it much now, there's no sensors on it. And the Mini 4 Pro and the DJI Air 3S have omnidirectional sensors, and I've crashed this drone 3 to 4 times. And I'm scared of crashing it anymore in case it breaks and I can't sell it, because I'm selling this to put towards this drone, and yeah, I don't want to lose it, I don't want to break it. I could have easily been happy with the Mini 4 Pro, but this 70mm lens I can't wait to use. I think it just adds such like more interesting shots to your videos, and it's just a lot more fun to use as well. We're like cutting from a wide to another wide sometimes doesn't cut very well, and I've noticed that on a lot of drones. With this 70mm, you can really punch in and get a cool, unique perspective with it. Annoyingly, let me just check. The light is going down, and I've waited all day for this. It's currently 3:45, and the sunset is about 5 o'clock. So I've got an hour, but all the batteries are dead, and I'm guessing this is going to be dead. No, this is fully charged, luckily. We will go out and test it in a minute. I'm just waiting for them batteries to charge, and especially tomorrow morning, I want to get up early tomorrow and definitely go test this outside. But with this over the Air 3, it's got the 1-inch sensor, it's got improved omnidirectional sensing as well, which is a big thing for me. Like I said, I'm scared of flying this because I've crashed it quite a lot of times. So I'm really looking forward to the omnidirectional sensing on this drone. And I'm also, the other thing is the LiDAR, which I don't think is the biggest feature in the world, but if it's good for low light, and this is obviously meant to be really good in low light because it's 1-inch sensor, then an omnidirectional forward-facing camera would help, even though that's what I'm seeing anyway. I'm really hoping it's gonna open up a lot more trips for me, because we don't go on that many trips and I really want to. But now I just feel like I'm just waiting to use it because the batteries aren't charged. I'm gonna go charge these batteries and we'll see you guys in a bit. Right, so it's now been like half an hour, I don't even know, but I've set up the controller, and like an idiot, I didn't realise the batteries are charging so slow. And I looked, and it's recommended that you actually use a 65-watt plus charger, like the brick that plugs into the wall. And I was using my Mac one, which I'm thinking is really fast, and it's only 30 watts, I think. And I looked online, and someone said that they put it overnight once, and it literally only went up half a charge. I turned on the drone, it was on 1%. It did nothing in like 15 minutes. So I was like, oh, I don't know, please don't tell me I have to order a new charger for it on Amazon for it to come tomorrow, and then I can't even use it tomorrow. But thank God I actually have my V-mount charger, because I'm pretty sure this is 20 volts and it's already took a chunk out of it, and it's literally putting 20 volts straight into it, and now it's going fast. Before it was going really slow, but now it's going like super fast. Fingers crossed I'll be able to use it, but the light is getting very, very dark. I'll probably test it more tomorrow. I'll throw it up in the air and tell you how I get on, but I probably won't record that. But yeah, I definitely want to go out tomorrow morning with it because I'm so excited. So we're finally out here, and I've probably picked the worst day to test this. It's completely miserable, so overcast, so foggy, but it could show some pretty cool stuff. So I've got the drone right here, about to get it up and actually give it its first proper test. Just getting all my settings set up now. I've set everything to 4K 25, 1/50 frames per second, ISO 800 because I've got the ND32 on, and hopefully it's not too bad because obviously the different aperture levels. Okay, so this is my first proper flight. Hands are freezing. This does look incredible, to be fair. This is just standard mode as well. I'll try D-Log M in a minute. It does say the sensors are unavailable though, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Another reason why I chose this over the Mini 4 Pro, the wind resistance on it is amazing. When you are in windy conditions, like last year, I went to Land's End in Cornwall. It was so windy, and I really wanted to get my drone out over the water. The Mini 4 Pro is great in windy conditions, but it's just not as good as one of these Air 3S's. It's just something I really wanted from a drone, especially because of how expensive they are and how easy it is to crash and lose. So let's try 4K 50 now, so I can slow it down. But because I've got ND32 now, I do have to bump it up to 1600 ISO ISO, and that's the one thing that is annoying about the Air 3S is the not variable aperture. Because of situations like this, now I've gone to 4K 50, it's still exposed, it's just under, and I'm on 800 ISO. So if I bump up to 1600, that's well exposed now, like perfectly in the histogram, but I'm at 1600 ISO in the broad daylight. But I am very curious to see why my omnidirectional sensors aren't working. Unavailable, unavailable, unavailable. The reason why the omnidirectional sensors weren't working is because I was in sport mode, which is nice to know. If you're in sport mode, the sensors do not work. So that's the first battery done. I managed to test out some of the normal modes, the 3x lens, the 1x lens, this controller, and I did a little bit of a waypoints, which was really cool, and I can definitely see that coming in handy. I wasn't really sure how to do it, and then the battery started running low, but fly the camera to one spot, then I fly it to another spot, you can go to like, I think it said 10, I'm not sure, 6. I did 5, and then literally you just click start, press record, and it does their movements all on its own for you, so it's perfect. And especially if you like want to do something yourself, or if you're filming, or if you want to like play football or something, for example, if you're just doing any activity, you can put that waypoint mode on, tell it where to go, and then you can just crack on with what you're doing, and then it's getting a really cool cinematic shot of what you're doing. So that's really, really cool that it's got that built into the drone. That's what I really like about it. And I was so close to not buying this RC2 controller. I was going to get the normal edition, and I'm so glad I got this because I hated using my phone. And one other thing that I love about the Air 3S, which I think is absolutely huge, and the amount of times this could have saved me before, is that it's got 42 gigabytes of internal storage, which is a lot of storage. Right, and now I'm going to test the return to home feature. I'm recording my screen at the minute, and you'll be able to see like the green arrow that it can see, so it knows how to get home. You know what? Before I go home, I want to see if I can track a bird. Oh my god, this looks insane. So far, I'm very impressed with this drone. I'm really happy I brought it. It's incredible. The biggest thing is why I wanted the DJI Air 3S, and well, just an Air series, the Air 3 or Air 3S in general, over the Mini 4 Pro, and that is that 70mm lens. It is absolutely incredible. I am so impressed with it. It looks so nice. It makes the edit seem so much more like better and more interesting in my opinion. Here it is now, returning to home. Right, I've just landed it. I'm out of here. So get back home, check the footage, and then give you guys my final first impressions thoughts, because that was fun. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I've still got plenty of charge. I'm definitely going to use it again later. I'm just absolutely freezing right now, and I'm hungry, so I need to go home. But yeah, I'll let you guys know my final thoughts later. So it's been a few days now, and I've not managed to look at the footage fully yet, but I did have a quick look and it looked really nice, especially that 3x lens. And I'm about to throw it up for the second time now and get some more footage and test around with some of the features, because it was so cold before. It's still a bit miserable, the cloudy days. Not got an SD card in it today because I'm using my Pocket 3 for that SD card. I need to get another one of them, but it doesn't matter because it has the internal storage, which is massive. 48 gigabytes is loads. I doubt anyone's really going to go over that unless you're shooting pretty much all day. So I've literally just got it to do some waypoints. I set 5 different waypoints and I literally press start, and now it's literally going to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. For example, if you was going to do this and I was going to go for a bike ride, or if I was playing football, for example, in the garden, I could literally just put this here and then tell it to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, all while looking at the same thing while we're playing football or something, and it's literally going to do some nice cinematic movements. You don't even have to control the drone. So if you're on your own, this is a great drone to use because it can do the shot for you. You don't even have to worry about it. You can put this controller in your pocket on the floor and just press record and go, and it's going to do it. Especially if you add the tracking in there as well, you could do a cool tracking shot. That's going to look really, really cool. So it's been a few days now. I've started editing this video already, and I've been using some of the footage, and I think some of the footage looks amazing. Considering the weather conditions, like it was really kind of miserable on the first day. The second day wasn't too bad. It was a bit brighter, but it's not like I've had any golden hour or sun, blue skies or anything. It's literally just been overcast and cloudy, and I'm still really impressed with this drone. It is a little bit annoying sometimes going from the 1x to the 3x because of that aperture change. I wish they put the same aperture in. And not only that, switching to the 70mm lens doesn't only make it darker, but it also changes the settings because it's like a completely different camera. So when you do change to 3x, this is mainly at the beginning, so once you've sorted this out, it's kind of fine. But even though it's in Pro, still at the bottom right instead of auto mode, the settings are set to auto. So I wasn't realizing yesterday when I was changing, or the first time, sorry, when I was actually changing from the 1x lens to the 3x lens, I was shooting thinking I'm in the exact same settings, but the camera was actually in auto mode. So the shutter speed would have been off and the ISO would have been whatever the camera thought it would have been. So sometimes it wasn't following the 180° rule for the shutter speed. Bearing in mind, when you do change from 1 to 3x, make sure you do change the Pro settings. Turn it off auto if you do want to control everything manually. So I'm just finalizing this video now. I'm doing some of the color grading, and after blowing up the image full size on my monitor, I did actually notice that the 3x lens, it still looks really amazing, but it looks a bit more muddy compared to the 1-inch sensor 24mm lens. Now that could be obviously because it's a 1-inch sensor versus a 1/1.3-inch sensor. That probably has a part to play in it. But I also think it's because of that f2.8 aperture versus the f1.7 aperture. Because I had that ND32 on, it obviously made the f2.8 70mm lens a lot darker, which meant I had to up the ISO a bit more, and I was hovering around 800 ISO on the 70mm and more like 400 on the 24mm, and I do notice some noise in the footage when I do zoom in and have a look, and that's why it looks a little bit more muddier. So I do think eventually I will upgrade to the freewheel ND filters, because I love the 70mm and I don't want it to be darker, and I don't want to have to up my ISO too much by using ND32, and ND8 might not be dark enough for the 24mm 1-inch sensor because of that 1.7 aperture. So I have no idea why DJI didn't split these NDs. It's really silly and stupid of them in my opinion. So I do think I will get them ND filters in the future. But just warning you that it looks like around 800, and I think some clips was 1600 as well, so maybe that's the worst clips that I'm looking at. But like 800 and 1600 ISO, it's quite noisy, which is a given. 800 ISO on my Canon cameras, that's native, there's noise in that. So from going forward, I'm definitely going to stick with the ND8 unless it's really bright and sunny, because to be fair, it was just overcast, so I probably chose the wrong NDs for that. But that was my first time using a drone, but I just thought I'd let you know, when you are on them high ISOs, there will be some noise in it. But like I said, that was at a full 27-inch monitor while I was zooming in as well. From afar, on a phone, it still looks amazing. So I'm not faulting it at all, I just chose the wrong NDs. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know that if you are going to get this, maybe get the freewheel NDs, because I do really think that it will be a lot better than the DJI ones. One thing though that I absolutely loved about the drone, like I said, the reason why I brought it was the obstacle sensing. I actually tested this on myself downstairs in the garden, and I literally just stood here and I moved the joystick forward towards myself, and it literally saw me and just went around me. I tried doing it sideways into me as well, and it started going above me and backwards around me, because I actually have the setting set to bypass, because there's 3 obstacle avoidance sensor options. There's bypass, there's halt, I think, and there's none. Having that into the camera was really cool. Bit nerve-wracking testing it on myself, I must say, but it was fine, and I really completely 100% trusted it, and it done that absolutely amazingly. Now, considering everyone's going on about the OcuSync 4 signal transmission in this drone, about how good it is, it's like the best out there, like it is amazing. You can go up to, I think it's something like 20 kilometers, which I think no one's ever going to do, because if you do happen to get 20 kilometers away, the battery's going to run out and you won't be able to get back. One thing that I did notice is that, okay, I was in my garden and there's buildings in the way, But even going like not even a kilometre away from my house, sometimes it would just say signal strength really low, adjust antennas, and it would go from 4 bars straight down to 3, 2, and then straight down to 1 instantly, and the screen would glitch a little bit, and it was actually kind of scary because I wasn't sure if it was just going to lose signal at all. But another thing that I love about the safety features is that if it does lose signal, it automatically goes to return to home mode, and the new return to home mode system is really smart, and it just goes back exactly where it left off from. And I think that uses the satellites, because the satellite signal was perfect. It was just the RC controller signal. Another thing that I thought was really cool when I was looking in the settings was there's normal mode and then also FPV mode, and I've been toying with the idea of using and trying out FPV for over a year now, but I just can't commit to it. However, because there's an FPV mode in this, I tried it out, and you know what? It's nothing amazing, but it's a lot of fun. It follows the movement of the actual drone, and this drone's very fast. I think like in sport mode, you can go up to like, I can't remember how exactly fast it was, like 40, 50 mile an hour or something. I'm not sure if you want to try into FPV and you already have one of these drones like a Mini 4 or an Air 3 to try out the FPV mode on this, because if you like to look at it on this and you can practice it on this, maybe this could be your way of getting into FPV like it is potentially for me. And if I keep on using it and I like it, maybe eventually I will buy like a DJI Neo, and then from there I might get the Avata 2. Another thing that I mentioned a couple days ago was the waypoints, but another thing I tried was master shots. Now this is completely the drone on its own. You literally grab a subject, so you track, for example, again, yourself or a car or something, and it will start seeing where that is, and then it will start doing random movements itself. So it might do like an orbit, it might change to a zoom lens, it might go backwards, it will just start doing anything random to yourself. But it did automatically change out of D-Log M to standard, so I don't think you can use D-Log M in it, and it automatically set it to 4K 30, but I'd imagine you can change it to 4K 25 or 50. Another thing I loved is that I used my SD card from my Pocket 3, which meant I actually didn't have a good enough SD card for my Air 3S. But it didn't matter because I had 48 gigabytes of internal storage. And that whole battery and a half that I used the other day on the actual drone itself literally only took up 11 gigabytes. So you can get a lot of footage through that internal storage. So if you do forget an SD card, or if an SD card you lose it or it corrupts, literally this 48 gigabyte of internal storage is going to save so many people. I've not really had a chance to look at the photos yet. I did mix up between 12 megapixels and 50 megapixels, and I think a lot of the time I probably will just pick the 50 one, even though it's not a true 50 megapixels. I was even really happy with my Mini 2 photos, so I'm sure the photos on this Air 3S are going to be astonishing and absolutely amazing. So as for first impressions, that's pretty much it. Like, I absolutely love this drone. I am so happy I've brought it. I've been toying with this idea for so long. I will leave the link in the description below for you to go purchase, and if you have any questions about this drone, about the controller, the batteries, anything at all, make sure you leave them in the comments below and I will try my best to help you out. Thank you very much for watching, and if you did like this video, you know what, you might like this video up here where I actually talk about my Pocket 3, because I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but this has a 1-inch sensor as well. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same sensor that's on the Air 3S. It might not be, but it is absolutely amazing and I love it. So if you do want to see my 6-month review on the DJI Pocket 3, then make sure you go watch that video next.